Welcome to the Daily Jerry Anderson podcast, where the presenter's calm is once again disturbed by this morning's opening line from Coilus Interruptus. Few phrases are as frightening as, I was thinking about you last night in bed.
I was thinking about you last night in bed.
Don't, please. I don't like you doing that.
That's
it makes me nervous.
That's the reason that you should bring this up. I was thinking of that particular period in your life.
What period?
And I thought to myself, I wonder when he first took off his trousers. When did...
I can remember it vividly.
But no, do you?
You mean in earnest?
No.
You see, you take off your trousers all the time to go to bed, but there are other times you take off your trousers, and that's a different thing.
No. What age were you when you took off your top trousers?
You mean my short trousers?
No, your top trousers.
I don't know what a top trouser is. Tell me what top trousers are.
When you were a young boy, that age when you were talking about you were...
Oh, you mean when I used to wear two pairs of trousers?
Yes, and you wore two pairs of trousers. At what age did you say, right, I'm getting the notion to remove a pair?
Yeah.
So what age were you when you decided it's time I only started to wear one pair of trousers?
I think there's a little explanation necessary here. Many listeners may not know what this is all about. When I was a young lad, about maybe 9, 10, 11, maybe up to 12, it wasn't fashionable to be thin.
Yeah.
At that time,
but you'd been wearing short trousers then.
Everybody was wearing short trousers then.
Yeah, you couldn't have worn two pairs of short trousers.
Oh, absolutely.
No, you didn't.
I'm just about... Will you stop, please? I'm trying to explain to the people why I felt the need to wear two pairs of trousers in the first place. Mm-hmm. There was a time when there'd be ads on TV like, man, don't let someone kick sand in your face. Mm-hmm. And you get these, what do you call those things you used to get? Bulwarkers. You used to get that. So the real emphasis was on bodybuilding. Mm-hmm. And if a person was thin or something like that, there was something wrong with them.
Do you remember I told you I sent away for a bulwarker?
Did you?
I did, you know.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well, were you exceptionally thin or were you okay?
Yeah, I was thin, but
I mean, look at you now.
I had to send it back because I couldn't squeeze it in. Do you know how the principle of it?
I can't remember. I never had one.
It was like a big tube with two other tubes inside it, right? Mm. And then there was this sort of two ropes on each side of it, a rope on each side of it.
Oh, yeah.
And you pull the ropes out like that there.
Thereby strengthening your chest muscles.
And I think you could press both ends of the tube and like that there. You see, I couldn't either pull the ropes out or press the tube in.
Well, was there no one to help you?
But it's no good anyone there to help you because the bulwarker's for you and you alone.
I know, but could you not go to someone and say, I can't work this bulwarker here?
I sent it back.
Oh, did they give you money back?
No, I never paid for it. you know one of those 17-day trial offers.
Send back if you're not satisfied.
Just put it back in the box and send it back.
Well, there was a time when it was important. See, no, it's not important. It became when the Beatles came in. You see, I think that was the start of it, when it was okay to be thin. But before that, it was not okay to be thin. You were weakly and sickly, and and people would hit you and stuff. Yeah. Oh, look at this going to be shite out. Yeah. And that and I felt that very extreme because I was very thin indeed. I mean, I was 8 stone up until I was 40 years old. And at that time, I would have been, very severely underweight. Not unhealthy, but I was unhealthy for a while, sickly child. But then I improved a little, but I was always thin and wan and, pale and sickly. So I felt to myself that, I thought my legs were too thin. Mm. So I became very self-conscious about them. I felt, that they were like matchsticks.
Go on, lovey.
I felt like a little Lowry boy.
Yeah.
A little Ellis Lowry boy. So I decided to do something about it. I was wearing a pair of short trousers, as you do. So I said, if I wear 2 pairs of short trousers, I may look a little fatter. So I started to wear 2 pair. But I wore 2 pair for a long time. It was very hot during the summer.
Yeah. Did you wear longies? You wear 2 pair of long trousers?
Never a longie, always a short hair.
I was picturing you at dances with 2 pair of trousers on you and going to school with 2 pair of... And you've been all lumpy and sticky out again.
Well, let me just explain how it worked. Many people... I would say that the minority of the people listening to this program have ever done this. This is not something that would be normal procedure. This is a man,
I can't see you wearing 2 pairs of short trousers.
I'm going to explain it to you. I didn't wear 2 pairs of shorts. I wore a pair of underpants, right? Then I wore a pair of short trousers, and then I put a longer pair of short trousers over the top of that again. So therefore I'm wearing 3 pairs of trousers, really, basically.
Yeah.
But then came a time when I had to wear long trousers.
Yeah.
So what I did then was I had a pair of longer, shorter trousers underneath the long ones, and the underpants as well. So underpants, longer, short trousers, and long trousers. A hell in the summer.
So a girl had very little chance with you.
Well, they didn't want to. They didn't go near me.
No.
No, I didn't bother about that kind of thing until I was well over 16, and by that time I was
So
wearing...
when did you decide to take off? When did you get stirrings? You know what I mean? When did you?
Stirrings? You mean like porridge in the morning?
No, when did things start to happen to your little body?
You mean Derry beating Glentoran?
No, when did you start to notice the gears? You know me and Barbara Stanwyck.
No, but it worked. You knew the opposite way.
did
You
work.
struck you with horror.
It
You
turned
discovered
me
that she had
off.
breasts.
Yes.
And you rejected her. You didn't like her anyway. I was the opposite. When I discovered that, I kind of liked it.
But is that when you took your trousers off?
Right away. Immediately. Well, no. I took my trousers off when I heard Johnny Horton singing Ronnie Bear.
Johnny. What
do you call him? Preston. Okay, don't be such a pedant. What was his name?
Johnny Preston.
When I heard him singing Running Bear, I said, I better take these trousers off because that's what you do, you're running bear.
Let's see now. You heard that? Wait a minute. That's
1962.
61.
61. Pedant. 15, 16.
51 years ago, you took your trousers off.
I know, I haven't put them back on since. The BBC principles of taste and decency are the guiding lights by which the presenter sets his moral compass. This restricts his storytelling abilities from time to time, but these things are important in the great scheme of things. I can't tell you when I first became aware of the ways of love, and I don't want to talk about that. It was a traumatic. It involved... No, stop. I'm tempted to tell this story, but it's too unsavoury.
No, don't.
No, I want to tell it, and I could nearly tell it, but I can't tell it properly because it would be too unsavoury. But I could tell it in a less unsavoury manner, but then it wouldn't be as good.
No.
I might make one up. Anyway, listen, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the programme. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme, if you are indeed wearing more than 3 pairs of trousers, we want to hear from you. 08459 do women wear 5 or 6 pairs of knickers? Do they? Do they? No, they don't. It's a man thing. Tom Raymond. He wasn't mentioned. Joel was talking about the favourite Ulster comedians. Tom Raymond. Whatever happened to Tom Raymond? I bet he's gone now. God love him. I used to be out in shows, and Tom Raymond would always be on them. A man was walking down Cliftonville Road the other day. I'm Tom Raymond.
Tom Raymond had a sister.
Had he?
Yes, Tom Raymond had a sister that I think she was a singer.
I'm Tom Raymond. Look, he's telling me, what's wrong with your microphone?
I don't know. I'm not in charge of it.
He's telling me to turn you up because we can't hear you. Now, yesterday they couldn't hear me.
Who was Tom Raymond's sister?
Tom Raymond.
Wasn't there? There was a comedian who may not be Tom Raymond, but there was a comedian in Northern Ireland who had a sister. Who was that?
Ruby Murray.
No, it wasn't Ruby Murray.
I don't know. Don't ask me questions like that. I don't know. Maybe Tom Raymond, God rest him, he's probably dead, but I hope he's not. But I imagine he would be. But maybe people would tell us if he had a sister, and if indeed his sister was a famous singer, which I doubt.
Robert from Oma said that my levels are too low. Jerry's is okay. Turn up your levels. Get Ken in.
But you see, it's no good getting Ken in because he doesn't do anything. The trouble... Excuse me, hear me look, do you hear that?
Yeah.
The trouble yesterday was I was fine. I was loud in my ears and you were low. But the opposite was happening outside. People couldn't hear me and you were booming out, and we can't have you booming out.
Marjorie Ray.
Marjorie Ray was Tom Raymond's...
Tom Raymond's sister.
Marjorie Ray?
Yes,
Tom
right.
Raymond's sister?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, there you are.
See, there you go. Who's Marjorie Ray?
Marjorie Ray was a singer.
Of course she was.
Yes. That's right.
She's getting very excited, Emma. Must be the baby. Tomorrow, the great Jimmy Ellis will be a guest on the show to talk about the Billy plays, which are to be repeated on BBC television next week after many years' absence. Mr. Coyle will not be there. It will get messy otherwise. I remember the last time Jimmy Ellis...
Yes.
Were you there the day he burst into tears?
Yes.
That's the day. It just goes to show you how much... I'll just tell that story.
He didn't burst into tears.
He did.
He did not.
He did.
He did not.
He did.
He didn't.
He did. And I'll explain the story.
He didn't want to go. He wanted to know what the...
He started to cry.
He didn't.
He did.
I was sitting beside him.
You're a liar.
I'm not... You're the liar.
He started to cry. Now, I'll tell you...
He didn't.
No, he wouldn't mind me saying this. I'll tell you what happened. There was some kind of thing going on in Belfast, some kind of thing that Jimmy was invited to.
It was your programme.
Oh, was that it?
Yes.
And then we went to lunch.
We did your programme in the Europa Hotel.
And then we went to lunch.
Of
will you shut up a minute? I'm telling a story. And we went to lunch.
It was a Monday morning.
All right. And we went to lunch, and who was all there? There was nice people there, good, funny people, good talkers. You know, not the usual BBC people. You know, people who could talk and know about other things. And this lunch was very convivial.
It was Fidelma
and other people.
and other people.
And it was convivial, a wee bit of drink and stuff, you know. And then Jimmy was enjoying it. People were talking about Belfast the old days. Not the old days in particular, but just about everything. About actors and about this and about that. It was great stimulating conversation. You know the stuff that we don't have? Stimulating conversation. And then this fella came in, he said, Mr. Ellis, your plane is leaving.
No, he didn't.
Who's telling the story?
You are. I was sitting beside him. I was talking to him about boxing.
Okay, you tell the story then.
No, the boy didn't come in.
Who didn't come in?
He was asked, what time's your plane going at? Can we get you a taxi?
But the taxi arrived.
No.
The taxi arrived.
He said, find out if there's a later plane.
Okay, all that. But anyway,
Well, you know, all that.
but see,
You cutting all that
you
out?
tell stories badly. No, the point is that
You always say detail. Give detail.
I know, but sometimes there's too much detail.
When
The
it
taxi
suits you.
arrived. The taxi arrived. And the fella said, "What time's your plane at?" And he said, "It was 2:30, whatever it was." And then he realised. You cut the story short. You see, you pile on too much detail. But anyway, he was sitting there and he said, "I have to go," and he started to cry. He said, "It's very difficult for me to leave. I'm going back to England now." He said, "So I'm leaving this." He said, "Why am I leaving this? Why am I leaving this great conversation, this table? Why am I going? Why am I going back to England?" And then he got up and he cried. He was so unhappy to be leaving people in Northern Ireland, having to go back to England. You know, where people are like in England, not the same as us.
He loves Belfast.
That's right. He cries when he
loves
leaves
Belfast.
it, and he'll be back. I think he's back today, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him tomorrow. And there's all kinds of. Well, I'll ask him what's going on tomorrow. So listen tomorrow I'll be talking between about 10:30 and about 11:15.
Me?
No, not you, Jimmy Ellis.
No, you want me to listen?
I don't want you to listen. I don't care what you do. See how cruel I can be. Yeah. Why don't you listen on iPlayer?
Why?
Because you don't know where it is.
No, I'll listen when I'm taking my porridge.
I don't want to sit there and think that you're listening to eating porridge. It makes my mouth go wrong. Talk turns to food on TV and the possibility of adapting the Come Dine With Me format to be broadcast on Radio Ulster. It's an idea that will not run. We don't have the kitchen appliances any longer, or indeed the will. We'll do a version of it here.
Right.
Eh?
Why can't we
I'll
look
cook
at it
stuff.
now?
I'll cook stuff for
Why
Ken. Oh, by the way, I don't normally...
Can we not look at it now?
Look, well, you can look at it now if you want.
I don't want to.
Well, why don't you look at it when it's on? You can look at. You can go up the stairs after this programme and watch last Tuesday's episode. So I'll do it for you. I'll find it for you.
Would you?
Right. I don't normally read out internal memos in BBC Radio, but I'm reading this one.
Alan's on too, by the way. And when
This is an internal memo. You've got this. You probably haven't read it yet.
not.
I'll read it. This is what it says. The fridge is out of action.
Yeah.
Ken is investigating it. Ken is investigating if it is self-defrosting or in need of repair. That's what Ken is doing. Whilst the levels are all over the place, the whole country is ringing about this programme, Ken is upstairs investigating the fridge. Now, we're advised to do the following. In the meantime, if you have any perishable items, it's probably better to remove them and dispose of them. As a temporary measure, now listen to this, make a note of this.
Yes.
Milk is being stored in the access area in the fire escape stairs.
Wow. Is that not a tad dangerous?
Well, you see, if this place goes on fire and we have to access the stairs and we fall over
the
pints of milk,
Yes.
I don't know, whose fault is that?
Ah.
It's Ken's fault. Thank you for listening. Back tomorrow.